15 with the sequence intent of hope. Thank you so much for joining me. And we're going to start in a half Tadasana, if I like to call it, half extended mountain pose or half mountain pose. And just having our palms on our thighs, still keeping our back engaged, neutralizing our pelvis, bringing our shoulders back, bringing them down, really opening up our chest, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then just begin to have our hands in cactus pose or field pose, right? Just keeping them here, having like the right angle. And then lifting up and back, really getting that back bend, lifting my back up and over a barrel. And then maybe countering that pose, lifting up and down. And now extending my hands up above my head. And then just lifting my left body up and over that right barrel. Really stretching that left body for 3, 2, and 1. Going back through center, lifting up the right, up and over that barrel, stretching that right body. 3, 2, and 1, back through center. And then I'm going to clasp my hands right behind my back, really squeezing my shoulder blades together, maybe opening up a little bit more, and just lifting my shoulders and my arms up as they are in a straight line, and lifting up and back, really opening up my shoulders. 3, 2, and 1, and then counter that. And then maybe shifting back for 3, 2, and 1. Shaking that out, right? Right, I'm going to place my hands on the mat. And I'm going to make sure that my knees are hip width apart, tucking my toes and lifting my tailbone up and back in downward dog. And just pedaling that out, maybe the first dog of today. Right, I feel that my shoulders are now open for me to deepen this downward dog asana. And then looking forward, I'm going to walk my feet to my hands. And then now forward fold. And just walk that out. Having my hands right underneath my knees on my shins, lifting up into a halfway lift, really tilting my tailbone down, strengthening and elongating the front and back of my torso. Breathing into this, really opening up my shoulders, trying to squeeze my shoulders together forward. And then back down and lower into forward fold. Right, your hands don't have to touch the mat. It can be here, whichever, as long as you're hinging at the hips, trying not to bend, cave your back. Really just deepening, sinking in here. Alright, and then placing your hands back down on the mat, stepping back into plank pose. Breathing in, shifting forward and back, and then lower down to the belly. And then untucking the toes, lifting, pushing your heart through, and opening it up in cobra pose. It can be baby cobra, right? Or if you want to get that extensive back bend, you can lift up, trying to bring your chest and your ribs off the mat, bringing your shoulders down. Untucking the toes, lifting up and back into downward dog, and just pedaling that out. Right, really getting that stretch in. And then dropping down to my knees, untucking my toes, opening actually my knees a bit wider, so that I can shift back, sit in between in child's pose, really bringing my chest down, bringing my forehead down or chin if possible, and holding this while walking my fingers out to 3. In child's pose, 2, and 1. And I'm going to lift up, really concaving in this cat pose. Right, shoulders are curved in. And then I'm going to drop my belly down, bringing my feet up, lifting back up into cobra-ish pose variation. Really stretching out my hip flexors, opening that up. Breathing in through the nose. Once again, opening up my heart, opening up my chest. And then lifting back and rolling and doing the reverse of that, shifting my tailbone back down into child's pose. Once again, just concaving into cat. Bringing my stomach and down, lifting my feet up, bringing my chest back, cobra, and then back down. I'm going to roll back into tabletop. And then I'm going to do some full cat and cow, lifting up my chest, tilting my tailbone down. Right, we already had some practice with that. Opening up my chest. Right, keeping my shoulders engaged, right, my wrist underneath my shoulders. Breathing in. And then breathing out, really tucking my tailbone down. Once again, concaving, circling my shoulders, bringing navel to spine. And just continue to do those rounds as many times as feels comfortable to you, right? And just bring forth what you think the intention of hope is to you. Right? The dictionary defines hope as desire to want a specific outcome, feeling of trust, having an expectation for something. So what are you hopeful for in 2021? Right? And so here I'm going to just do some wrist work like I always like to do every asana. And I'm going to begin actually with my wrist, with my fingers pointing towards me and doing some circles. And just breathing into those areas. Ooh. Right? That may be tight, right? We don't really just bending back, doing some circles, really stretching our wrists that we don't usually do all the time. Right? And then maybe have them point towards each other internally and just rock back and forth. Right? And then just shake that out. Ooh. Yeah, looking better. So once again, and now that I'm in tabletop and I'm warmed up, I'm going to do some tiger poses, right? So that's actually kicking my back foot, lifting my back right foot, lifting my left leg, and then actually bending that right leg, bending this left so that it can touch, and just really holding this asana, right? Really pressing, kicking that back foot so that my arm is really pulling forward, and so that my arm is really being pulled to pull it so that I am centered. 3, 2, and 1. Back, down, right. Kicking that left, lifting up that right, bending the left foot, bringing the right towards it, and that left leg is kicking back, right? And so my right arm is trying to pull it forward, so that constant tension of push and pull for 3, 2, 1, and back down. And then I'm gonna tuck my toes, hover for a little bit, and then push my tailbone back and up into downward dog, pedaling that out. Maybe having my heels touch the mat if possible. If not, that's fine too. Lifting up this right leg and walking it through into runner's lunge. Right here, and I'm actually going to bring this left knee down, and now I'm in low lunge. Lifting up, placing my hands right there on my knee as I deepen this asana. And breathe in for 3, 2, and 1. Placing my hands down, walking them back, shifting my butt and my front knee so that this leg is now straight. Flexing my toes and bringing chest to thigh as much as possible and nose to toes while still keeping my back straight and not hunching. 3, 2, and 1. And then walking that back into low lunge. Right, lifting up back into runner's lunge, and now walking my hands forward, pivoting this right leg. Right, and now I am wide forward fold, and it's walking my hands back, really deepening this wide leg stretch. And breathing in for 3, 2, and 1. And I'm gonna walk my hands to the left side, right, and now I'm bringing this right foot forward, left foot forward, right knee down, and now I'm in a low lunge on the other side. Switching things up, right? Sitting in this asana, placing my hands right here on my knee and holding this for 3, 2, and 1. Placing my hands down, walking them back as I shift my hips back, flexing this left foot, toes to nose, and holding this for 3, 2, and 1. Walking forward back into this low lunge. And then now I'm back into runner's lunge. And I'm going to go once again, go through the center of a wide-legged and just forward fold here. And then maybe do some side lunges, right? So walking my hands to the right, bending this right knee, right? Really opening up this hip, keeping this left foot down and straight, holding this for 3, 2, 1, and now shifting to my left side, bringing my hands there, straightening that right leg now, really flexing those toes to deepen that stretch, opening up this left for 3, 2, 1, going back through center, and then bringing my feet in a bit more as I go and squat down into yogi squat, really bringing my booty, all of that down, opening up my hips even wider, using my elbows, my forearms, my biceps to really push open, and I lift up and open my chest and heart in this yogi squat. Feeling very yogi in this squat. Maybe just shifting left to right, having the desire to have your hips open, right? Having the hope that you can hold this asana, and if you need to hold it a little up higher, right? If you need a block or some support, then by all means, allow yourself to add those supports in this practice. Ooh, right? And so now I'm going to place my hands down and lift up, walk my feet back in, and now I'm in a forward fold. And just bending that, alternating between left and right. Maybe having my hands on the back of my calf, really deepening that asana. Placing my hands on the mat, and then lifting up this right arm, opening up my chest, bending that left leg into a forward fold twist for 3, 2, and 1, back down. And then doing the same thing for the other side, lifting up this left arm, bending the right for 3, 2, and 1, right? And so maybe if I have the strength, right, to just slowly lower my butt in a seat position on the mat, really without using my hands and without kind of falling, right? And open up into straddle pose. If you needed a little bit of support, if you needed a hand, then that's cool, you know, making progress, slowly but surely, right? And so now I'm in a seated wide leg straddle. My back is still up and engaged. And I'm flexing my toes to really deepen this stretch. And I'm gonna lift my hands up above my head, lifting that left body up and over a barrel, bringing that left arm down. Right, trying to really bring my hands to my toes. We're also having my chest open forward for 3, 2, and 1. Right, and then now shifting so that it's more of a forward fold, right? Having chest to thigh, knee to toes, and holding this for 3, 2, knee to nose, 1, and then going back through center, lifting this left, right body, now up and over the barrel, placing this right arm down, bringing my fingers to my toes for 3, 2, and 1, and then shifting down, knee to nose, keeping this left leg still down for 3, 2, and 1, and then back through center. Maybe just shaking that out, widening it, not widening it, just adjusting yourself. And we begin to walk forward, bring my forearms down to the mat, shifting my chest down and lowering, keeping my toes flexed to really open up those hamstrings. And this is how far you can go. That by all means, that's totally fine. If that feels good, you can also have a block, a pillow here. Or if you want to extend by walking your hands out or having your hands walk from side to side, from one side to the other side, right, to really open up, to deepen that stretch. Whatever comfortable for you. And holding this in 3, 2, and 1. Right? And then just begin to bring one leg to the other. So now we are in a seated forward fold. Or maybe bringing some booty meat back so that you can sit and adjust a little bit more. Back is still elongated, it's still engaged. And now lifting up and doing the same thing, chest to thighs, and really deepening that, maybe grabbing your ankle, grabbing your toes, grabbing your heels, whatever you can grab. Right, and holding this for 3. If this is too much, you can always bend the knees to alleviate that tension and that stress. 2, and 1. Right, and so now I'm going to do the same thing. Now I'm bending this right leg, right? Lifting again up and over. And holding this for 3, 2, and 1. Right. Shaking that out, and then switching to the other side. Lifting up and over, holding this for 3, 2, and 1. Right, so now that I'm already in this staff pose, I'm just going to walk my hands out, right, so they're a little further, and then put them on and go on my forearm so they're at 90 degrees. Right, lifting my chest up, dropping my neck down, and I'm now in this fish pose. And just holding this for 3. Maybe relaxing my shoulders. 2, and 1. And just begin to slide further down. Right, and bring your thighs to your chest, really holding, squeezing it in, sucking in the air. And then placing your left arm on the outer of the left foot and the right on the outer, and just begin to open up, extend, and now you're in happy baby, right? So here, just Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, rocking, straightening one leg and the other. And again, and the other. Right? And then maybe bringing the feet together. And just allow them to be in up, really just allowing to alleviate that stress, that tension. If you have a wall, you can always place it there. Point and flex. Bringing the left leg down, keeping the right up, maybe grabbing the right, bringing it to your chest. Straighten and bend. Maybe using your right arm to really just bring it out onto the right side. And really straightening up that leg, extending it up, having toes sit in line with ears, in line with the arm. Your arm is straight. And then bringing it back through center. And now bending them back together, straightening that right leg out in front of you, straightening that left leg up over you, pulling it towards you. Breathing in. Using your left hand to grab that left foot and really just extend it and open it up to the left side. Straightening that left arm, bringing toes to ears if possible. Or align with ears, I would say. And then back through center. And now squeeze in that last ball. And just extend. And just make your way to Shavasana, bringing your shoulders down. And allowing yourself to just bring awareness to your body. What does hope mean to you? What are you hopeful in this new year? What are your desires for this new year? And what methods and intents and practices are you going to bring forth to allow those desires to really accomplish what you wish to occur, what you hope to occur? If you have more time to stay in this asana, I invite you to do so. Just let us begin bringing energy to your toes and your fingers, bending your knees, maybe doing some windshield wipers, bending your knees to the left, bending your knees to the right, and deciding on what side you want to drop them. As you playfully make your way up into an easy seat, maybe having your palms down for grounding or up to receive energy. And I think just to continue to have hope in your heart, desire for a better outcome, a better future. And thank you so much for joining me today. Let's place our hands together at heart center. The light in me sees the light in you. See you next time.